The background noise will be fixed on the next episode. I guess I'm keeping in podcast tradition to have shitty audio on the first episode. Enjoy.
Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of the Beyond Meat podcast. I'm your host, Beyond Boy, and right off the bat, I'm just saying, if anyone wants to co-host with me, hit me up. If you're very knowledgeable on Beyond Meat, you're very passionate about it, and you like the products, hit me up. I definitely would like to get a co-host for this because, I don't know, just the idea of sitting here talking to myself about Beyond Meat, it's just sad. You know, I think it would be a lot more entertaining, you know, to get another guy to bounce my stuff off of. Because, you know, the community is already pretty much non-existent as it is, you know, so it's just kind of sad to just have one guy sitting here talking about it. You know, it doesn't really do any justice, you know, to the community, considering how in its infancy it is, as it is, and how fractured the community is, and how it doesn't even really have its own identity right now. You know, like you go on StockTwits and you go on Yahoo Finance, people are pretty much still like, it's a mix of bears and bulls, and there's a handful of bulls, but it's really not its own community, you know. If you go on Reddit, there's the Beyond Meat subreddit. That thing's completely dead. So yeah, I just see Beyond Meat right now. It's basically like how the Tesla community was back in the early 2010s, you know, like 2010 to 2012-ish. Even right when Tesla first IPO'd, I mean, yeah, just the community was not that strong. It didn't really start getting that strong until a couple years later. So I'm assuming that's going to be the same for Beyond. You know, they haven't really proven themselves yet in that sense. They're still not mainstream yet. Not even like enough to have like a strong cult following, which is strange because, you know, they make a lot of money. You know, they made 70 million, I think, in revenue this quarter. So it's strange, you know, people are buying the products, but they're just, nobody's really talking about them outside of that, you know. So I just think that's kind of strange. And I would like to have someone else on here just to bring more life into the community and make it seem like, you know, hey, there's more of us. There's more than just me, you know, who like to stalk. No meme intended there. But anyways, yeah, so definitely comment or just, you know, private message me on YouTube or whatever. Anyways, let's talk Beyond. So there's a lot of news that happened this week. Obviously, we had the earnings call, and obviously there was a huge loss there. Crazy volatility happened with the stock. I mean, I played options again for earnings, which I told myself I had to stop playing options on Beyond because it's just such a volatile stock right now. You know, you never know what each earnings is going to be. And I think, I mean, if you bought a call or a put, calls or puts this earnings call, you got screwed. So I just think it's best to not play options on Beyond. I'm just going to keep stacking shares unless it goes down to like some ridiculously low price. Like that's how I was able to make some money back in March. Or I think April of 2020. I bought a Beyond call for $100, was able to turn it into 2,800. But you pretty much could have done that with any stock, you know, at that point, because it was still pretty much the bottom for a lot of stocks. Yeah, I advise everyone to not play Beyond options. For one, the premium's insane. Again, unless you see it fall to like some ridiculous level that you think is completely unjustified, definitely don't play earnings. Definitely do not play Beyond earnings because that is just a recipe for disaster. So yeah, the earnings came out. They lost money again, which I did expect. I mean, I was kind of hoping that the Beyond Meatballs were going to be a huge thing for them, which they did. They did, I believe they said a 22%, or either 22% of their sales were from the Beyond Meatballs, or I'm not exactly sure where that percentage came from, but, or a 22% increase in them. The Beyond Meatballs are selling really well. I believe the Beyond Breakfast Sausage Links weren't selling as well because those were actually, they did come out after the meatballs. Both of those are both fantastic products, by the way, that I just have to say. I mean, the meatballs are definitely my favorite product of Beyond's now. They really nailed the meatballs. The sausage links are really, really good too. Those are actually probably my second favorite product. Their burger to me recently has just, maybe it's because I haven't char grilled it in a while, you know, because it's been the winter time here. They're not the same when you put them on stovetop, the burgers, or even in the air fryer. You know, you really gotta char them on the grill, you know, for that really meaty taste. But yeah, anyway, so I love all Beyond's products, except for the crumbles. I think the crumbles, they're just kind of mediocre. You know, I really think they should either just get rid of those or redo them. Just do a complete redo on those because, I don't know, I just think they came out mediocre and they taste nothing like in Del Taco. You know, whatever the hell Del Taco was seasoning them with or whatever, I don't know if Beyond's using like a different formula for Del Taco, but they need to get whatever the hell Del Taco is seasoning them with or whatever they're using for the Del Taco. They need to get those as the crumbles because those are amazing and those actually taste exactly like taco meat. But yeah, so anyways, earnings were crazy, very volatile. At first, the McDonald's partnership spiked them up to $169. Then it immediately fell back down after I believe that Ethan said that they weren't going to be realizing any of those profits probably till the end of 2021, which is understandable. I mean, I think people are way too harsh with Beyond right now. They're still a very young company. People are very harsh, everyone's so quick to say, oh, they're so overvalued, but yet they'll buy. I guarantee a lot of the people buying or saying that Beyond's overvalued are also Tesla shareholders, and Tesla is a ridiculous PE ratio, completely insane. But again, Tesla gets a pass because Elon and, he's like a godlike figure and all that. But with that being said, the McDonald's deal is huge. It is insane. I am so happy that it actually happened. I was doubting it for a while. I was like really scared that McDonald's was gonna go with Nestle or something instead, or they Nestle might have fronted them more money to go with them. But they ended up going with Beyond. I'm not sure why. If they just realized that they had the better product, or if they just didn't want to be left behind because they realized all these other companies were going with Beyond. They knew that they're the industry leader. It's just the smartest thing to go with them. But the thing with Beyond is not only are they the industry leader, they also have the best tasting products on the market, in my opinion. I've tried all of their competition so far, and I have not been impressed with them. Besides Impossible. Impossible is their only real competition, and even them, they don't have nearly enough capital to get the deals that Beyond's getting, so Beyond just has a huge head start on Impossible. And plus, Impossible kind of has that headwind right now, the potential heme thing. I'm not sure if they fixed that or not, because I was in Target the other day and, they have Impossible and Beyond right next to each other. And I remember Impossible used to have a red color to it, but now it has like a brown color. So I wonder if they already took out the heme, which was one of their big selling points, that made them different than Beyond, was that they had the burger that bleeds. We don't know if there's long-term risks of consuming that for humans or not. Yeah, again, not really worried about competition. And that's one thing people love to say. They love to just dismiss Beyond right away and just say, oh, well, they have a ton of competition, so, it's not even worth it, Yeah, they have competition, but that's such an ignorant thing to say. I mean, you can have competition, but is it good competition? I mean, I'm sure that, again, the same people probably said the same thing about Tesla, and they still say the same thing about Tesla now. They have all this competition. But again, nobody cares anymore, because Tesla has, at this point, proven themselves with the hype and everything, so no one even cares about competition, really, at this point with Tesla. But every company is going to have competition. It matters whether or not it's good competition. And in my opinion, the only really good competition right now to Beyond is Impossible when it comes to plant-based. Again, Beyond has been able to seal these deals. The McDonald's deal, I think, really, really shows that they are serious and that they're here to stay, I think. And the Pepsi deal, and the Taco Bell and KFC, just all of that are insane deals. And, they're going to be able to go through with them and get the capital with their new $750 million convertible senior notes that they're doing. The thing with the senior notes is they only have the potential for dilution if they get, exercised or converted for shares. And hopefully, Beyond won't let that happen. I think Ethan Brown really wants to see the company and the stock succeed. So I think he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that, first of all, those are paid off in cash, because they're going to need this money, I think, to fund, these deals to be able to scale with McDonald's and do the Pepsi deals and Taco Bell, I'm sure, and any other expansion that Ethan's trying to do right now. I mean, he's very focused on market share, and that's both a strength and a weakness of his, because, again, he's not very focused on the short-term profitability. And I think a lot of shareholders are frustrated by that, and I get it too. It is frustrating to see the price keep on tanking, and just see them keep not turning profits. But again, you have to keep in mind, they're still, struggling from COVID. 50% of their revenue was from restaurants before COVID. They were in so many places. They were in movie theaters. They were in all these small restaurants, all these small businesses, all these entertainment places. So they're still missing out on all those sales. Obviously, they're probably spending too much money also on, again, market share and R&D probably. Ethan's also really big in R&D. But again, I think that's still essential in their stage right now. Ethan really is just trying to get as much market share and perfect the products as much as possible, which that leads me to another topic. The Beyond Burger 3.0 is coming out pretty soon. I don't think there was a date on it, but I'm very excited to try those two new iterations of the burgers. Hopefully they are able to perfect the texture and the flavor on these iterations. And I believe that Ethan said that he's going to try a new marketing technique too, which I'm very curious what that's going to be. For this new 3.0 burger. I wonder if he's going to redo the packaging or whatever. So that's going to be very interesting. I am looking forward to that. One thing I wish they would do is sell more burgers. I mean, just the 2-pack of burgers. Like, I'll see that shit at Whole Foods, and like, I just can't justify to myself buying it. $5.99 for 2 burgers. What I usually do with the burgers is I get the Cookout Classics because there are still some of those, floating around in the supermarkets. And actually, my local grocery store, they had the Cookout Classics on sale for $10. So I was able to grab 10 burgers for $10. So $1 a burger as opposed to $3 a burger. I just think it's not a really good value deal. I just think they should, or even a 4-pack, because you have to buy so many of the 2-packs, and it's really annoying in that sense. So I think they should either just offer them in bulk, which they do the best in bulk. They do the best in these club stores, Costco and BJ's, like these type of stores. They do best in bulk, I'm pretty sure. So I just would love to see them just dump the 2-pack burgers and just go with like a 10-pack of Cookout Classics. Even if it is, at the $3 a burger, and that's $30. I would just still rather pay the $30 for more of them, for the 10, or even if they could, slightly get it down to like 25 or something. But I get it. They need to do the 2-packs to get people to try it. The new customers. But for the recurring customers, it is really annoying to have to only have the 2-pack options at some stores. Who knows? Maybe that's something that he'll address and he'll fix with the 3.0 burgers. It would obviously be nice to get them cheaper eventually, which is another one of Ethan's goals, to get them cheaper, I believe, by 2024, in at least one of their product categories. I think the Beyond Meatballs are pretty fairly priced. They're only $5.99 for 12 of them, which I think is a pretty good deal. Me and my brother and my dad will make those like every Sunday. Crack open a pack of the Beyond Meatballs. But yeah, in terms of where we closed today, $139.66, we did close on a wick, so I'm hoping that we get a bounce back tomorrow, because we did get an upgrade from Citi. Citi upgraded Beyond to a buy, and they have a price target of $184, I believe. We're actually, we did break pretty key support around like 142, 143-ish, but we still are kind of in that channel area, if we break 134, 135, then, next support isn't really until like 125-ish. So, yeah, it's a little worrying in that regard, but again, I'm in it long term. I'm just dollar cost averaging. The RSI, not exactly in oversold territory. It's at 40, so it could go down a little bit more. Yeah, it's kind of unclear though where the stock price goes from here. If the market is still choppy, which I think it's okay. My dad doesn't believe me, and I don't think a lot of people will believe this kind of conspiracy theory, but I think it makes sense. So back when this whole GameStop thing happened, if you put the S&P chart and the GameStop chart next to each other, they had an opposite correlation for the entirety of the GameStop pump. So basically, when GameStop started pumping to crazy heights, the S&P started dumping a shit ton. And then, it did that for a couple days, very consecutive. GameStop kept going up, S&P kept going down. And then right when GameStop crashed, the S&P rallied the next day. So I think what happened with that was the result of hedge funds selling off their positions in the market to cover for the GameStop pump happening. That's my theory, because now it seems to be happening again with Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage took off today, and then the S&P dumped right when Rocket started really taking off. And there was a relatively high short interest on that. But I don't know, it could just be a conspiracy theory, but it seems to, I don't know, it's very coincidental in that sense there. So yeah, I just really wish these shenanigans would stop. I get it, I get what they're doing, but it's really frustrating because it just screws with my stocks and everyone else in the market, when these idiots start pumping these stocks here. Yeah, not sure. Maybe I'll take the dump today as a grain of salt then in that sense, because Beyond pretty much did just go down with the S&P, although a little bit more harshly. But yeah, again, guys, don't sell. If you really believe in the company, just keep dollar cost averaging. I got 65 shares right now, so I'm just gonna try to keep accumulating. But yeah, guys, so I think I'm gonna end this episode, this first debut podcast here, with a little Gandhi meme, So the Gandhi quote: first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. So I think we're currently in the then they laugh at you stage, because nobody really takes plant-based meat seriously still. You go on stock Twitter, you go on Yahoo Finance, there's a bunch of bears. Oh, plant-based meat is disgusting. Oh, it's fake meat, bullshit. Just still a bunch of people laughing at the idea. There's a meme of the Beyond sausages, and they're all like, they're all crinkled up. It is a funny meme. Yeah, I think we're definitely in the mocking stage right now. I think soon we'll be in the fight you stage, probably once this McDonald's deal goes through, and we start seeing Beyond, more and more people trying Beyond. That more people are gonna get combative about it, like, oh, you're not taking away my meat. I think then we'll be at the then they fight you stage, and then probably around like 2025 to 2030 will be the us winning stage. People really just love their meat. You know, they're very sensitive about their meat. You know, I myself, I was vegan for a while. Actually, I've been eating cheese again a little bit. I haven't had meat in like 2 years. People are just very, very sensitive about their meat. Like if you read any positive Beyond like DD post on Reddit, like on our investing or whatever, the top comment is going to be like, oh, just wait. Don't even bother investing in it. You know, just wait for lab grown meat. You know, they're just completely dismissing it. And I think that's really misguided and that's really closed-minded, because a lot of people are switching to plant-based meat, you know, not just because of environmental reasons or even ethical reasons, you know, for the animals. If you're able to make meat from a lab, it's still going to be just as, you know, carcinogenic as it was out of a lab, you know, and even then we don't even know if there's any weird stuff going on with how the lab meat is made. And, you know, not saying that Beyond Meat's like the healthiest food ever, but, you know, I think people are too quick to jump to lab meat being the next new thing. Yeah, I think the idea of lab meat grosses a lot of people out too. And you know, another thing that people like to do, they just like to point to this seaweed thing that came out, the seaweed supplements that apparently is reducing the methane emission, the gas of cows by 90%. And so, you know, they'll point to that article and be like, oh, game over Beyond Meat. We got the seaweed supplement, guys. No more methane, but we're good to keep killing the cows. And like, no, that's not going to be the answer either. So basically what I'm saying is they're trying to prick holes in the Beyond Meat bubble, you know. Oh, but lab grown meat. Oh, but the seaweed supplement for the cows. And like, sure, but like, again, you're kind of missing the big picture. A lot of people are in it for the health benefits. A lot of people, after trying plant-based meat, are kind of realizing like, regular meat is kind of gross, even in a sense, in that it's still carcinogenic. Yeah, I think people are just... they're gonna realize that if it tastes just like regular meat, why would I eat the regular meat? You know, when I could eat a slightly healthier version made of plants, you know, that isn't the flesh of an animal. I could be completely wrong. Maybe Beyond does get destroyed by the lab-grown meat, but hey, that's the risk I'm willing to take, you know, as a Beyond Meat shareholder. Anyways, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it with this podcast. Again, it would have been really fun to just bounce these ideas off another human being who actually likes Beyond Meat too. So again, if you're interested in co-hosting this podcast with me, let me know. It's just going to be like pretty much a Beyond Meat news / speculation podcast. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. See you next time. Maybe I'll have a co-host next episode. Probably not, but we'll see.